Hello, this is my 2022 Triumph Speed Twin, and today I want to talk about the dresser bars. Basically, you can also call them highway bars or crash bars, but you can see on this side what the bike looks like, and on this side with one of them installed. So what they do obviously is if the bike does tip over, it will protect somewhat. It looks like the pipes here, part of the engine here. I do have the Triumph engine guards here at the bottom, so that should likely be protected as well. So what may be a costly replacement of certain things, maybe even including part of the tank, could just mean a simple replacement of these, $200 bars. What I want to discuss is the instructions, and how to get to these bolts. You can see where they bolt here, basically one here, and then the other one's right on top here, the other bolt. And the instructions say to remove the fuel tank to get to it. And I'll show you why that is, why they say that. But I didn't mind without removing this fuel tank. And it's just, if there's fuel in there, it's just a pain in the butt, I think. There's instructions removing it and making sure the fuel rail, there's no pressure, doing this, doing that. So I'll show you what I did, and hopefully that helps out. So what I've used is one of these. So you can see that's a 17 millimeter and the ratchet. And the magic, of course, is being able to bend this like that. So let's take a look on this side, and you can see that on that bolt, you just stick this here, and that's gonna hold it in place. So once you put your Torx in here, that's gonna hold it and no problem. So you can see you don't have to take off the tank. Same thing with the top one. You can see here it is, and I can just shove that right back here. If it wasn't focused, you'd see the bolt, but bam, I've already taken this one off. But you can see I'll go right here, and you can take off your bolt and you are done. Even if you can't get it at a 90-degree angle, put it in, you can put it in straight and then bend that after the fact and get it in there. So from that side, this has worked really well, and I'll show you a little trick as well to put everything back in. So on this side, once you put the bolt back in, and I'm about to tighten it to 105 Newton meters, basically once it's almost ready to, when it's tight enough, you're gonna put it in. You can see here that that's right back in here. It's really tough to focus on this thing, isn't it? But that's it right back here. This is the wrench here. And so it just falls, that's all you gotta do with this one. It's right there, and then you just take your torque wrench, 105, and that'll do it. And the bottom as well, right here, that's gonna be easy to put the wrench back in here, hold the bolt back there, and 105, and using your T55 Torx bit. And from that side, that's basically all you gotta do. I'll show you the little trick I had to do on the other side. Before I move on to the other side, so this is 105 Newton meters. What happens with these sometimes with tools is that now it's I can't get it out, and the trick for that is just take yourself a screwdriver, and you can basically put it here. And if you take a little hammer or mallet, a few pops right on the head of the screwdriver will loosen that right up. So don't worry about that. So back on the right-hand side, this is one I'm going to show you. So you can see normally when I'm trying to get the bolt off, I know this is in, but I put this in, and back here, it's bent at 90 degrees, and I can get it right on the nut. That's great. However, when you're putting the dresser bar back in, what happens is I don't have clearance here between the tool and this tube. The nut initially isn't, it's not backed in all the way, so the nut interferes. It's not enough room between here and the bolt, so I couldn't get this tool in properly. So what I did instead is I used this, this attachment just here by itself on the top, 17 millimeters. You can put it, it's meant to go at 90-degree angles like that. I stuck that on a swivel head, and then I can bend this and basically shove it right back in here on that nut. Simple as that. Hold that in place, and then I could just screw that in with my Torx 55. So, you know, in case you have trouble with a bendy thing here, well, there may be other solutions if you have something where you can bend a wrench like I have right now. And that worked fine for me. And this is the final result. You can see the right-hand bar here. Not too bad. It doesn't detract too much from the look of the bike itself. Here it is with it, little back view. And yeah, so overall I'm pretty happy with it. The install is not too bad. And hopefully if anything does happen, if the bike does drop, the bars take care of not hurting anything else.